So I recently replayed BioShock Remastered on Steam, and I'd been meaning to for the last, I think 3 or 4 Halloweens. I wanted to play it around Halloween, and I finally got around to it this year, killing time till Modern Warfare 2. And while I was playing, I was thinking a lot about remakes. They've been a big conversation recently, really over the last few years. You think about the major overhauls we've seen to the Resident Evil franchise, some of the more faithful adaptations from Bluepoint with Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. Very much looking forward to what they're doing with Dead Space with a fully explorable Ishimura, new side quests, Isaac being fully voiced, which is questionable as a topic for another time, the updated gore system. But then we have the interesting situation with what Sony's been doing with their remakes, with The Last of Us being extremely faithful to the original, and now supposedly Horizon Zero Dawn's being remade, which is very bizarre to me, but that's again another topic for another time. So because of the variety of remakes we've seen over the last few years, the conversation has been what constitutes a remake, what justifies a remake, what justifies the price of a remake, and all of that was kind of going on in my head while I was playing BioShock. I think it's been a conversation for the last 10 years that BioShock either needs to be remade or deserves a remake. Forgive me for the engines in Atlanta, Georgia. There have been rumors of that over the years, and there is a brand new BioShock game being made as we speak. The whole time I was replaying Irrational Games' masterpiece for the first time in at least 10 years, I think my answer is no. I don't think it needs a remake. Does it deserve one? Maybe, but I don't think it needs one. The reason being is because the game design, progression, level design, the playstyle variety, and phenomenal writing all very much stand the test of time. I was blown away at just how much fun I had with this game. Of course, the writing blew me away more than ever before with a much more mature mind than I had in, I think I was a freshman in high school when I first played it, so the narrative and the side stories and the world building and the lore really hit me much harder than it did all that time ago. And I was very impressed with all of the levels, all of the weapons, all the variety in the plasmids and the combination of the weapons, the upgrade paths. It's been said ad nauseum, but the game really was ahead of its time. And by the end of it, the only things I could really think that could use some improvement is maybe having the levels all interconnected, kind of like what they're doing with Dead Space and having the fully explorable ship. Maybe they could do that with Rapture. The only thing is a lot of these levels are broken up with pretty heavily scripted events and very much have breaks and beats in the story that are intended to be separated, so it'd be tricky to connect everything seamlessly, but that could be one improvement if they decided to go that direction. And visually it's complicated because the game, even in its remastered state, isn't drastically different from the original. It doesn't look bad, I still think it looks beautiful, and a lot of that has to do with the art design. That's kind of the beauty of older games, is that they really do stand the test of time. BioShock still has a very charming look to it, and to recreate those graphics in a more photorealistic nature could be interesting, but I think it'd remove a lot of the charm that the original game has. And I think a recent example of that is what they did with Demon Souls. I think Demon Souls looks absolutely breathtaking on PS5, but I have heard a lot of hardcore Demon Souls fans say that the new graphics kind of take away from what made the original look so special. And not to go on a huge tangent, but a lot of people have called for a remake or a remaster of Halo 3 over the years, and I am a fanboy, I admit it. I'm a little biased because Halo 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's my favorite Halo game still to this day. I still think Halo 3, at least on PC with some of the enhanced graphical settings you can introduce, it still looks incredible to me. And a lot of that has to do with the lighting and the art design, which stand the test of time. And interestingly, someone created a brief Unreal Engine 5 demo of what BioShock would look like on Unreal Engine 5 in full 4K. I think it is possible to replicate the original art design with a modern aesthetic, higher resolution, higher frame rates, all that stuff's greatly appreciated. But while I was playing it, I was not necessarily yearning for it to look any better than it does. I could definitely imagine what Rapture would both look and sound like with drastically improved audio and lighting, visual fidelity, all those things would be appreciated, but playing from start to finish, I don't think it's even necessary. And I'm hoping what little I've shared upon replaying it will create some sort of conversation in the comments about recent remakes you've experienced, if you've recently played BioShock, or if it's fresh in your memory what you'd like to see in a potential remake. I just think it's a great time to talk about it given all the remakes we've had recently, all the ones we have coming in the near future. I feel like there's a lot to talk about, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll have more to share in the podcast, and I'm currently replaying BioShock 2, which has been pretty surprising because I had very few memories of BioShock 2, but so far I think it's a great follow-up to the original, and I look forward to sharing my thoughts on that. That's all I really have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and again, please share your thoughts down below on the video itself, and specifically have any thoughts on BioShock, the future of the franchise, and particularly what you'd like to see in a potential remake. Would love to hear your thoughts. This is It's Obvious Gaming. My name's Garrett Drake, and we'll see you guys in the next one.